Height Greedy 3Ds. As you're probably aware, I've done a full review on the Ultracraft Reflex RS, and as part of that, HeyGears have suggested that this printer, unlike its big brother the Ultracraft Reflex, won't be able to print certain kinds of resin. One of those kinds of resin is the transparent resin, but I'm here to tell you today, oh, it can print it, and it can print it well. Stay tuned. Now, if you've watched my review on the Ultracraft Reflex RS, and if you haven't, I suggest you go and do that, you'll know that the HeyGears machines are geared up to using their own proprietary resins. They like to use their own ecosystem, their own resin, their own printer, their own slicer, and they're not opened up, so you can't use other slicers, you can't technically use other resins, but you can. And we'll come back to that. The resins that were released with the RS, there's about 5 or 6 resins. 5 at the moment with a new one coming out very, very soon. But none of them are clear resins. So in theory, if you're buying this printer at the moment, you can't print anything clear. Well, that's not right, surely. And it isn't right, and I'll tell you why. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll see that the HeyGears original Ultracraft Reflex works really, really well with third-party resins. You can use Sunlu in it, you can use Jam-J, you can use a Mirror Labs, you can use the Wargamer resin. They all work flawlessly in this machine, and that's because this machine uses sensors and AI and wizardry and magic to make your prints beautiful. It monitors prints on each layer and just does some wonderful things in the background that you and I will probably never understand or see, but it makes wonderful, wonderful print time after time, and I've proved this time after time. So if you're thinking about buying an RS, but you're not too happy with your the fact that there's only 5 or 6 compatible resins in it, don't worry, because you can pretty much use any resin on it. And today we're going to be looking at one in particular. I've always used Jam-J High Gloss for my transparent resin. Now, the reason I use this is because the results are amazing. No other reason than that. This stuff is incredible, and I've done other videos, and I'll check out the link over here somewhere where I've used this, and you can see that it's marvelous stuff. Now, the original resin that we used to use in the Ultracraft Reflex, which is HeyGears' very own, is amazing as well. It's incredible, but it's really expensive. This isn't as expensive and works beautifully. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use this resin, and I'm going to show you the setting that I've used in this printer to produce wonderful, wonderful clear prints. So here is the Jam-J water washable high clear resin, and I'm pouring it into my 900ml heated HeyGears RS vat. The vat is an additional purchase of $200 compared to your basic one. Now I'm going to be using the profile for the RS. I'm going to use their standard regular resin tank, general purpose resin, and the magic is the modelling PA WW10 resin. I'm going to import this GAM body file here. This is a Teo model. It's quite a detailed model, and I'm going to let the one click slice do its magic by rotating it, supporting it, etc., and moving it across to the printer. Now 21 minutes it will take, and I just want to draw your attention to this ECG, this heart monitor on the machine. If you open it or close it, or there's a little bit of a problem, this will, like the real thing, give you a little bit of a discrepancy. And here we go, nearly just 4.5 hours later, we have the Teo, and it's all been printed. Looking good so far, but we won't know until we get it off the build plate. Now, there's a couple of things I always think when I'm getting these models off the build plate. How easy does it come off? Is it welded on? Well, as you can see, it's not welded on. Via the medium of a metallic spatula, off it pops beautifully. And once it's off, all I'm going to use is a little bit of kitchen roll just to clean up that build plate, to get any residue off and get it back into the machine. The next thing I want to show you, and I'm going to show you this in its entirety, is the support removal. Now remember, this was the slicer doing its auto supports. It just did all this for you. One click, it went into the slicer, and then it virtually came out of the printer. Marvellous. The supports are just coming off beautifully. This is a highly detailed model, so of course I don't want to be using too heavy-handed a technique to get the supports off, but you know what, I don't have to. They are literally just falling away from the model, and of course I'm being careful because there's a few delicate little points on there. But one of the good things about the supports in the HeyGears RS is they are the thinnest, most easiest removable supports that I can get off, that work phenomenally. You get very little divots and pits once you've took the supports off. You get a little bit, but you don't get a lot. And look how easy that came off, and look how beautiful this little Teo model is. Isn't that gorgeous? It's been printed absolutely beautifully on that setting, and the supports, as you can see, there they are. They've come off in virtual chunks, which is great. No fiddling or digging around at them, so into the trash once they've been cleaned and cured. Now I'm using the Ultracraft HeyGears cleaning station to clean everything, and I've dropped the speed right down to 80 because I don't want to damage anything. And once it's had about 6 or 7 minutes, I'm going to whip it out of this nice clean IPA. And what I always do with clear resins, I'll just get some clear IPA in a spray bottle and I'll just give it a blast all over just to get anything else off it. Once that's done, I'm just going to pop the hairdryer on it to give it a dry, and he is ready for curing. And what we're going to be using for curing is, of course, the HeyGears Ultracraft curing station, and I'm going to pop it in there and I'm going to give it no more than 5 minutes. This resin is really good. It doesn't actually yellow, but I'm going to give it no more than 5 minutes, and in it goes, and there it is whirling away. The good thing with all the mirrors and the transparency in here is that the UV light is going to penetrate all angles. And 5 minutes later, here he is. He's beautiful, isn't he? What a wonderful print. Just look at the detail in this model. Look how accurate it is. Look how clean it is. Look how crisp everything is. You can check the small details there. They're all printed. They're all printed fine. The thing with clear resin is you can't sometimes see the infinite detail in them, but I'm sure you're getting just how wonderful it is. Now, I haven't done any major changes to the slicer because you can't. I've just told it to use the PAWW10 slicing profile, and I've popped in this water washable high clear resin. Wow, just look at that. So that proves beyond shadow of a doubt that yes, you can without doubt print clear resin in your RS just using your pour profile. And this is the high gloss clear resin that I definitely recommend. There will be a link, of course, in the description. I guess I'm a 3D printer and I love 3D printing, and I want to just say to you guys, if you're on the fence about buying one of these, get off the fence and buy one. Yes, it's not the cheapest printer on the market. Fohammer made a comment which I thought was absolutely perfect. This printer is not overpriced, it's just expensive, and you are getting what you pay for. Not only are you getting a robust build, not only are you getting reliable print after print, but if you are a beginner and you're daunted by all the settings and all the things you have to fiddle with to get a decent print, this will do it all for you. You literally press one button in the slicer, it does all the work for you, you press print on the printer and it prints it every time. Simple, easy and quick. If you're an advanced user and you maybe haven't got time to mess around with all the settings and stuff like that, or you don't enjoy that side of it, printing test after test after test to hone things into perfection, this printer will do that for you, and you can use any resin that you're currently using. I absolutely guarantee this will work to some degree or other, and mostly 100% beautifully with the average resins that you guys are using. Now, some more specific resins out there I haven't tried on it, so there might be some real complicated ones that I haven't tried on it, but all the basics I've kind of tried on it. I've tried your Wargamer, I've tried your Sunblue, I've tried your Jam J, I've tried your Amira Labs. They work flawlessly, just choosing a certain profile, and they work beautifully. Watch my previous videos and you'll see what I mean. So if you're thinking of buying this and you're put off by the closed ecosystem, don't worry about it. Honestly, the print is amazing. It prints with pretty much anything I throw at it, and it prints beautifully. There's a link in the description, and if you're lucky enough to see this before the end of their cheaper selling period, because they've just released, which was about 2 weeks after release, and I think it's about the 4th to the 6th of October, might even be a bit later than that. I'll put it in the description so you can find out. You can get this for $799, which is a great price. If you follow the link in my description, you can get it even cheaper. You get another $50 off, so you'll get it for $750 in effect, which is an amazing price for an amazing printer. If you're seeing this outside of the introductory period, this machine is $1,000, which sounds like a lot compared to some of the others out there, but you are getting what you pay for. It is a beautiful, beautiful machine. And I understand some of you are on the fence. I absolutely get that. And you'll probably stay on the fence, and it's up to you guys. But if you look at my review, look at other people's reviews, everybody is saying exactly the same thing. If you think I'm some kind of schmuck who HeyGears have paid off, and I am not. I am far, far from that. This is an amazing printer. Check out the other reviews. You'll see what I'm saying is absolute fact. Now, if you like what you've seen today, And if you enjoy looking at me using certain kinds of resins on this printer, the resins that we perhaps shouldn't be using on it but work beautifully, then give me a subscribe to the channel. Think about joining the Patreon. Leave me a comment. Tell me what kind of resins you'd like me to test in it, and I'll see if I can test them for you. I'm really interested to hear your opinions. Leave some links in the comments of whether you like the printer, you don't like the printer, you're thinking of buying it, you bought it and you're pleased with it, you bought it and you're not pleased with it. Let's let the other viewers see what your comments are. And I will be playing with this one moving forward with different resins over and over and over again. And I just hope you enjoy that. And I'll see you next time on Greedy 3D, playing with more resins, making some more amazing models, and models that should not actually work but work beautifully. See you next time.